Good wishes, dear students. Now in this part we will continue with chapter 17 of statistics, that is definition, scope, importance and limitation of statistics for class 11. Now scope of statistics. I have already defined you the definition of statistics, and now scope of statistics. Statistics pervades all fields of life around us. It has become an indispensable tool for drawing conclusions and making decisions in various fields. As we have seen earlier also that economics as a whole is there around us. Whatever we see our activities, that is pertaining towards economic activities, and now statistics is a part of economics, and collection, organization, analysis and interpretation of data is also of great importance in our day-to-day life and for taking any decisions, especially in corporate world or businesses or for government bodies to take decisions. So although statistics was used in its earlier phase to deal with the affairs of the state, the scope of statistics has now spread to agriculture, biology, business, chemistry, communications, economics, education, electronics, medicine, physics, psychology, sociology and numerous other fields of science and engineering. However, in this book we are concerned with application of statistical methods in the field of economics only. Although it is used in many other fields also, but here we will study statistics confined to economics only. Now, importance of statistics in economics. Understanding the performance of the economy. Statistics are important understanding the performance of an economy. It also provides us important data for comparing the performance of an economy with itself over time and with other economies in respect of aggregate production, employment, national income, level of prices, etc. are very useful. Now, understanding the importance of various sectors of the economy. To understand their importance, statistics of production, employment, etc. in these sectors are very useful. There are many sectors, service sectors, power service sectors, manufacturing sectors, agriculture sectors, industrial sectors. For them to understand, statistics is very important. Statistics helps in intersectoral comparison and intertemporal comparison, that is comparison over time. For example, to analyze the problem of poverty, the economist would like to know the magnitude of poverty across the rural and urban areas of the economy. Interpersonal comparison of poverty on the other hand would mean a change of the magnitude of poverty over time. Government take decisions according to statistics only. They compare the figures with other years and then they take the decisions. And this also helps them to estimate that their decisions are in a proper way or not. Studying the regional balances and imbalances also, like how much production from agriculture is generated in Punjab and Haryana and how much is the contribution of other states. Similarly, statistics help us to know the share of different states in industrial production of a country. Studying the role of government in an economy and in the formation of economic policies. Government collects the part of income in an economy in the form of taxes. It also takes loans and pay interest on these loans. So it incurs expenditure on various activities, administration, defense payment of interest on loans, education, all these things. All this is an important part of economic activity. Statistics relating to these activities of government are essential to understand the role of government in the functioning of an economy. These statistics are also helpful in the formulation of economic policies of the government. Niti Aayog or the Planning Commission of India as it has been named as Niti Aayog now, they take and form the policies according to this data only. Statistics for plant development. So planning and ensuring better utilization of resources, statistics relating to the availability of resources and their distribution among different uses is essential. Statistics also helps in evaluating the progress of various 5-year plans. Now better comprehension of the basic principle of economies. Economies in its own principles like laws of demand and supply, it states the relationship between cost of production and the quantity of production, etc. These principles are supposed to be universal and applicable to the study of data relating to prices, quantity demanded or supplied of a commodity. It helps to understand of the markets and firms. So, 7th point is quantitative expression of economic problems. Statistics are helpful for understanding the magnitude of economic problem in quantitative terms. For instance, we can understand the problem of unemployment, price rise, etc. by expressing them in quantitative terms. Means in numerical forms we can put the data and we can understand its growth and what are the achievements of its implications. Now statistics is helpful in research also. By collecting and analyzing statistical data with the help of statistical methods, economists have formulated the law of demand, showing inverse relation between the price of a commodity and its demand. As in our previous chapter we have studied that there is inverse relation between price and demand. Price rises, demand falls, and when price falls, demand increases. So all this has come through by the study of statistics only. So we can conclude through the Marshall words, who was the leading economist, Alfred Marshall, who was the leading economist of 20th century, that statistics are the straw out of which I, like every other economist, have to make bricks. So use of statistical methods in various fields therefore brings about improvement in the statistical methods. Improvement in statistical methods is also a gradual process of their evolution as they used in various fields. Now limitations of statistics. As we have seen that everything has a merit and demerit also. What are certain limitations or demerits or certain loopholes of statistics? First is statistics is not concerned with individual observation. It is based on the method of study analysis of aggregate of facts. Individuals are not being studied, so individuals are being neglected in the study of economics. Individual things which expresses or which conclude the data that are being neglected. We take aggregate as a whole to study statistics. For instance, in statistics we are concerned with monthly income of different persons in a particular organizations and not with income of particular person. Now statistics does not analyze qualitative phenomena. Some qualitative phenomena like honesty, beauty, goodwill, integrity, etc., which are very essential for the human development in a moral sense and a good human, that is being neglected. It takes only quantitative data. Statistical methods cannot be easily used in analyzing this qualitative phenomena. Statistical generalization are true only on average. So they give us only approximate results rather than exact result. For instance, if we say that food production has been increasing at a rate of 4% per year for last 10 years, it does not mean that production has been increasing at this rate every year. As we have seen that it takes an aggregate as a whole and average values are being taken into consideration, so not exact value. Hence this is the demerit. Now improper use of statistics. To use numerical facts for better understanding of any subject of study, some amount of perfection is needed. Expertise is essential for proper use of statistics and statistical method. Otherwise, there is a vast scope of misuse of statistics and it will draw a misleading conclusion for them. Misuse of statistics is indeed its greatest limitation. In other words of Yule and Kendall, who were economists, they stated that statistical methods are most dangerous tools in the hands of an inexpert. If this statistical data will come to an person or organization who are not very expert of finding conclusion, then it will become dangerous because they will give a false interpretation or false result, and due to which planning will not be made properly. So this is often done by politicians or business houses. Sometimes they manipulate statistics and distort the facts of draw predetermined conclusion to suit their interest. Benjamin Disraeli, the former Prime Minister of England, had once compared statistics with superlative lies. So this may be an overstatement. It is also warning that statistics should be used to draw possible conclusions from them and not desirable conclusions to suit vested interest. So whatever prejudices we have for certain things or whatever conclusion we want personally to draw conclusion from statistics, that should not be done. But the true data should be brought in front of management through statistics. Otherwise, a havoc will be created. So the fault lies with those people who distort the statistics to draw wrong conclusions. There is nothing wrong with the statistics as a subject. In the words of King, the science of statistics is the most useful servant, but only of great value to those who understand its proper use. So harm is with human beings, how they bring this statistical data in front of the management and in front of the policy makers. But there is no harm in statistical method. It is good if data are being and conclusions are taken from it judicially, then it is good. So while using statistical method, we must keep this limitation of statistics in mind. At the same time, we should use data in an impartial manner and draw conclusion from them without any bias or prejudice. Okay, so in this way we have completed this first chapter of statistics, that has in your book lesson 17, definition, scope, importance and limitation of statistics. Fine students, so this part is over now. In next part we will continue with a new chapter of statistics. Fine, so thank you and have a nice day.